Welcome back. It's your guy, Sean Alcide. I'm here with my co host, Gene, and we are the First Team All Purpose Podcast. We don't
Chip,
got our guy Deuce with us tonight. He's handling some business, but we're going to hold it down for him to get it
the
jumping
deuce is
right.
loose.
The deuce is loose. The deuce is loose. To get it jumping right tonight, Gene, I want to ask you a question. Say you got an 8 hour road trip. You driving somewhere from New York to the South or something like that. And you can only bring one album with you. We're gonna throw it back like the old days. We got a CD player in the car. You don't got Apple Music. You can only bring one disc. What are you bringing on along for that ride?
All right, my go-to album, whether it's gym, traveling, that gets me in the mood, is Get Rich or Die Trying.
Okay,
But for today's purposes, I can't use that album because 8 hours is a crazy long road trip.
right.
So I'm gonna have to go with a double disc album. I'm gonna go with
Mm,
Biggie's second album, Life After Death.
mm,
Right, so that's what 24 tracks,
mm-hmm.
and I could just run it back. 8 hours is a long time, bro.
Yeah, you're running it back a few times. Yeah.
Right? So like I can't pick an album with only 10 tracks and then it's just like by hour number 2 I don't want to hear this music no more. So I need like a long album. You gotta go with a double disc, Life After Death.
mm. That's a smart strategy. I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking I was gonna keep listening to the same songs over and over again. Oh man, this was hard for me because my favorite album ever is Get Rich or Die Trying, and I'm just thinking if I'm on a road trip, do I want to be in that kind of a gangster mode? Oh, trip, like, or do I want to kind of like balance it out between different things? I bounced around between Get Rich, Jay Z's Blueprint,
You knew you was
or
gonna say that.
Jay Z's Blueprint, or actually Take Care by Drake. And I think
Okay.
it was hard, bro. But I think I'm gonna go with Take Care, bro. I feel like that's a road trip. It's a road trip kind of album. Like it has different variations of
Elements.
styles of music.
Yeah.
Right, it
Oh yeah.
starts you off nice and smooth with the "Over My Dead Body," and then it goes to, what's the single that he had? The Headlines. It goes to Headlines,
Yeah.
and then he hits you with "Lord Knows" with Rick Ross, and then he hits you with "Hell Yeah, Effing Right" with Wheezy, and like I think there's just a perfect balance on that album
Yeah.
that I would vibe with. I could listen to those songs a couple times and not be bothered over the course of an 8 hour drive. So I would
I'm
say
tripping
that
because I feel like you can do Heart of the City by Jay-Z for 8 hours straight.
straight. Heart of the City by 8 hours. So listen, if we can go back and like, if you told me I can go back in time style and, you know, download the music and burn a CD and take that one
Oh yeah.
CD,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
putting
yeah.
Heart of the City in there. I'm putting PSA in there back to back, and I'm running that back in and of itself for about 2 hours. So I'm all set with those two right there. But yeah, Heart of the Man, what a song! See, I might edit this clip with that song. I have to now
Yeah.
because you
Heart
just
of the
put that in
City.
my
Yeah.
spirit, bro. Great,
The
great record.
LIU days, man. You used to run that shit back all
Run
day,
it back.
man.
Mad obnoxiously too. Like everybody want to hear that joint. Like we're in the hallway blasting the same song over and over. Crazy, bro.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some football, yo. Week 13 is over. We're going into week 14, and now it's kind of like when you're starting to separate the real from the fakes. You know, the contenders from the pretenders, the real cats from the frauds. And we want to lock in on the NFC particularly because that looks like the conference where it looks like a conference where there's like a dominant team, there's another dominant team, but which dominant team do you think
Yeah.
you would favor in a one game take all kind of situation? So we're going to talk about the Eagles and the Lions. Which
Mm-hmm.
of those two teams would you most be confident in getting the job done to move on to the Super Bowl?
Yo, this question is a you did your thing with this question because this one was kind of hard, man. The thing with the Lions, they've been the most consistent team in the NFL. First of all, every time they play a bad team, they crack them, bro.
Crack, crack.
The games be over by first quarter.
But
Like
yeah,
crack these teams, right? The only thing with the Eagles, for me, the Eagles is a tale of two teams, right? First half of the season, or like let's say the first 4 or 5 games, they struggled with their play calling and coaching, and their secondary was like one of the worst in the NFL. I don't know if they had a team meeting or if somebody had to get punched in their face, but this Eagles team that you see right now ain't the Eagles team from the first 4 weeks. So if I
Hmm.
was to pick which squad I would think represent in the Super Bowl, I'm gonna just go with the Eagles just cause yeah, I'm gonna have to because first of all, their defense is improved
A
dramatically.
lot,
You,
a lot.
you got a white cornerback damn near decapitating Derrick Henry, bro. Like right?
Cooper, shout outs to
Yeah,
Cooper.
he broke back the ghost of Jason Sehorn, man. And you got Carter up front, who's wrecking
He's a
havoc.
beast.
Who's probably he's probably the best at his position right now in the NFL. So then you got Saquon. He's the home run hitter, and he's there to close out games. The way that they use Saquon is how Baltimore should be using Henry, but that's a different conversation. Um, so I'm just looking like just the totality of the teams. The Eagles is playing the best right now, in my opinion. And then Lions had a major injury with Hutchinson. So I think that's going to rear its head somewhere or another. So as of right now, I'm going to just go with the Eagles. And they've been there
Hmm.
before, 2 seasons ago.
True. This is true. Wow, that again, I asked the question and I didn't even have the answer, but
Yeah.
I've been consistent per Twitter debates that the Lions, this is just their, I just think it's their year. They're coming back for blood. Like after losing to the 49ers in the championship game last year, I think Dan Campbell told them dudes, we coming back here and we're not feeling that feeling again of losing, coming up short, at least getting to the Super Bowl. I think it's the Lions. And the reason why is part of what you said. Offensively, it's like Saquon, Saquon, more Saquon. Not saying they don't have other players
Mhm.
because they have AJ Brown is a top receiver. Devontae Smith, who's been hurt the last few weeks, that's something we like. I'm starting to get concerned about because one, he dealt with a back concussion earlier this year, and now he's missed like the last 3 games to injury, and we're not even sure what the injury is. They're just like he keeps being not at practice, and then they're like he's going to try to play, and then he doesn't play. So I don't know how healthy he is and how healthy he will be by the time the playoffs come around in a few weeks. But I just think like once you like I think in the playoffs it gets harder to have a running back dominate, not be good, but dominate the way he is when that's been your formula all year. So when the teams start to say, okay, we're anybody but Saquon, can they do it? And we know they could do it in the past, like you said, but this is an entirely different built team. Like they're not built for Jalen to be dropping back 20, 30 times anymore. Like he's barely, and this is why a lot of people are talking crap about him because he's barely like putting up crazy passing numbers, but it's like he doesn't have to. Like he's doing
Yeah.
what he needs to be doing. He's playing great quarterback right now. I like the Lions in the playoffs because I think to beat them, you're going to have to score 30 points. Can the Eagles score 30 points in Detroit? Like,
Right.
you're going to have to score. And the
So
Eagles
so
probably have the
you
better
so you,
defense.
but you don't
Go ahead.
think the past 7 games that the Eagles, I feel like they've been putting up 30 a game.
But who have they like? Yes, I'm not even going to diminish who they've played. I guess what I want to ask is which offense have they played that could combat them the way Detroit can. Maybe Baltimore, Baltimore puts up a lot of points,
Hmm.
but it seemed like Baltimore didn't have a game plan. Like they
Yeah,
seemed
yeah.
like they were just out there playing football without a specific game plan of because they started out fast. Like the first drive, they marched down
Nine
the
zip.
field easy,
Yeah.
got a field goal, and then they came back down the field. They were up 6-0. Like they were up
9 zip. I think they were up
nine
nine
zip.
zip. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And then they just kind of like went into the wind and like just started floating, away. And Philly stuck with what they did. Saquon wasn't having success early running the ball. They said, nope, we're going to keep running the ball because that's what we do well, which is to your point of, how the Baltimore Ravens should use Derrick Henry. It seems like anytime Henry doesn't get any like legitimate 4 or 5 yard
Traction.
runs,
Yeah.
they kind of like go away from it and start passing the ball. Like, so um, can like the pressure that Detroit's going to put, and it's not just like they score a point; it's how they do it. They'll hit home runs, and then fourth down, like
Yeah.
Dan Campbell's not looking to punt or kick. He don't want field goals. He wants to bury you. Can
But
Philly
in,
keep up in
but
a
in the
shootout?
but they've shown it because, like I said, 2 seasons ago they were in the Super Bowl. So if both of these teams, I don't know how the playoff structure would happen. Would both of them face off in the NFC Championship game?
They well, essentially, for if Philly wins and Detroit wins, they would be the last two teams standing. It's not like by
Oh,
seeding right now. They are the top two seeds, so they wouldn't see each other until the chip.
okay, so like hypothetically, if they both make it to the chip, you have one team that's been there before, the other one who blew it last season. I'm more inclined to go with the team that's been in that tough situation. And look, like we just said, he's not passing for crazy numbers, but when you do stack the box against Saquon, you still do got AJ Brown and Smith and Goddard, and they've been there before. So, like, at the end of the day, that has to account for something.
Yeah, I think yeah, it counts for something. I wouldn't be surprised if Philly got there. I'm going off of what I've seen all year, the consistency that Detroit has literally been, like you said, scorching from week one. They've been putting up 30 points. They've been putting up 42.
Yeah,
They've been doing it all year. So I think that pattern I trust more. And I think if it comes down to coaching, I like Dan Campbell. I like his brash. I like how he can exude confidence in his players. And again, the the Lions take up, like the Eagles do this well too. They take up long drives, which kills
yeah,
your momentum. But the
yeah.
Lions, like they take out, not many off teams could take out Montgomery and bring in Gibbs. Like it's hard to guard that team, bro. And they still haven't like fully clicked on offense, I don't think, because their tight end, who's an all-pro tight end, still hasn't really like gone crazy as much as he can.
I don't even think there's like a wrong answer to this question.
Right. There's not a wrong
There's,
answer. It's
yeah,
all about what you think. Right. There's not a wrong answer. But I think that's likely the scenario. I do think the one team that Philly don't want to see on the way to potentially facing off Detroit is the Packers. I've been saying this all year. The
yeah,
Packers are going to be hell for anybody come playoff time, bro. Like the way that their defense is playing and the way that, you know, they just will themselves. And even when Jordan Love doesn't play well, they find a way to beat good teams. So
yeah.
this Thursday is going to be popping with Detroit and the Packers. This is going to be popping because last time they were in Lambeau,
Yep.
Amon Ross St. Brown was wild.
Yeah,
And
our,
he
our boy Adam is gonna be at that game.
really,
Yeah,
oh, that's dope. That's dope. So that game's gonna probably maybe define the division and the one seed. You know, if Philly keeps winning, Philly might be able to scoot right past those guys battling each other out because they still both got to play Minnesota one more time too. So Philly just has to keep winning, and I think they have a good chance of doing that. So there's a lot of noise being made about the rookie of the year on the offensive side of the ball. Paul Cortez, who your boy Adam needs his fade or his debate battle with, he's on Twitter talking,
yeah.
saying, Brock Bowers, the tight end for the Las Vegas Raiders, is the rookie of the year, not Jaden Daniels or Bo Nix, who are both currently sitting in playoff positions. What you say to that? Who's been the best rookie?
That's ludicrous, man. Oh, okay, on a count of three, what is the hardest position in football? One, two, three. The quarterback position,
Quarterback. No debate.
right? Like,
No debate.
so you're telling me you have a rookie that got drafted by a franchise that's been bad for what, 15 years, 15 seasons now. They haven't had a competent quarterback in about what, 10 or 11 years, and I think that was RG3 slash Kirk Cousins. And for him to come in as a rookie, not only is he putting up good stats, and then they're winning early in the season, they were like top of the division. They're definitely gonna make the playoffs, right? How is he not the rookie of the year, the offensive rookie of the year?
Yeah.
Like it's tailor made for him. He's playing the harder position. Every
Yeah.
single year we see rookie wide receivers come in and set crazy numbers. We've seen
Right.
great tight ends come in, set great numbers.
Right.
But for a rookie quarterback to come in, put up stats and win, you have
Yeah.
to give it to him. And to me, the most impressive thing is where we have 4 more games left in the season, your man has thrown 6 interceptions the entire
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah. And one of them that he threw last week wasn't even his fault. It was a drop pass that was ricocheted into a defender. So I,
And,
I mean, I go ahead,
look,
finish.
and if you probably look at the stats, I guarantee you a majority of those interceptions came after he started dealing with the rib injury because he doesn't have
Oh,
the same velocity or touch.
1,000%. And I
Mhm.
was saying that in our chat. 1,000% that rib injury killed him for a good month. Like he couldn't throw the ball past 10 yards without it bouncing or getting hit or something like that. I don't think this is even a debate. Like, honestly, Brock Bowers is a great player. We all knew what he was at Georgia. This guy was freaking breaking records at Georgia. We knew he was a great tight end in a passing league on a bad team. Remember, I've always said this. It doesn't matter who your quarterback is. If you get targeted enough, you're going to put up numbers. That's exactly what Brock Bowers is doing. But in no world, and Paul's talking about the better football player. He's not better at football than Jaden Daniels. Like,
No,
forget
no,
about the position. He's not better at football than Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is out there literally making grown men look like babies as a I almost said freshman, as a rookie quarterback, running around dudes, throwing it on a dot. I mean, we talked about the accuracy. Like, we thought this kid was just an athlete. He's throwing freaking like
yeah,
Terry McLaurin has like had 2 multi-touchdown games in his career leading up to this year. He's got 3 of them this year with this
dude.
rookie quarterback. Like,
If
he's
there's any
unlike
wide
Zach Ertz.
receiver, if there's any wide receiver that's thinking the Lord that they got a QB, it's McLaurin
It's
because
McLaurin, absolutely.
he was playing with some straight up bums, and this guy
Bums.
is helping his career, man.
And Zach Ertz was on his last leg. Zach Ertz has been balling this year with this guy, and even Noah Brown. Noah Brown was with Dallas for a couple years, and then he went to Houston. That he didn't stick there. He moved to Washington. Noah Brown, who caught the Hail Mary, touchdown pass against the Bears,
Yeah,
he's revived his career. Like, he has changed the culture of that entire franchise, bro. Everybody on that team looks to Jaden Daniels, the rookie, to lead them to victories, and he's got 8 of them through 13
dude.
weeks. That is incredible. You cannot tell me
You
Brock
can
Bowers
you can put
is better.
any tight end on a decent team, they'll produce, man. Like I
He'll
said, like
produce,
I
right?
tweeted earlier, like he's putting up Darren Waller's
Dan Waller.
numbers. Like,
Yeah.
come on, like
Yeah.
like it's still impressive because you are a rookie and you're balling, but like
Right.
positions do also matter
Right.
because if
Right.
I'm playing the harder position and I'm balling out, that
Right.
it weighs higher than you. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. All you gotta do is get open and catch a pass, which is not hard to do in this today's NFL. So, Paul, stand down, bro. Stand down. You're not right with this Brock Bowers take. Stand down, beloved.
At all.
So we talked about the rookies of the year. We talk about the dangerous teams in the NFC. Now I want to talk about who has been completely a disappointment in the NFL this season. It could be a team or a player. I got a few in mind, but I want to know which player or team do you feel like has been a complete letdown this year?
And you already do we even have to you go first, man.
Oh, you gotta say the Jets?
Come on, man.
Okay.
Yo, first of all, no, it's the Jets because I
Did
didn't
they give
have
you
this.
COVID too? Like Joey? Like,
I don't know. My throat kind of like feeling funky today. So I wouldn't be shocked, right? Yo, you know what? It's funny. I was gonna tweet this the other day, like, because you were talking about the game, and I'm like, yo, you guys are still watching the Jets? I haven't
you
tapped
don't
in
watch
3 weeks.
anymore?
Come on, man.
I have to, bro. I'm low key addicted to watching the Jets, bro. Just so I can kill them. Aaron
Yo,
Rodgers, because Garrett Wilson.
within week 4, I know how my team is, and you got about week 4 to convince me. If not, I'm out of there. But I think the level of disappointment. I didn't have them as a 13-win team. I didn't have them, making it to the Super Bowl. Like you saw the video that that one dude that saw Aaron Rodgers, he started crying. Like
This is my favorite video.
right? I wasn't that delusional, my dude, right?
Yeah.
I just felt like we're going to be a wild card team. We're probably going to win 10 games. And for
Right.
it to go as bad, not even just on the field, but the front office moves and the coach firing and the owner and the backup coach, it's just like it's a complete shit show, man. Like at this point, we could have the number 1 pick overall. I guarantee you, we'd mess it up.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Like, I wasn't even thinking the Jets, honestly, because we've been off that train, for a minute now. We've known what they were, by you say, by like week 4. But I saw a stat like an hour ago on Twitter. Of the 12 games, they're 3-9. Of the 12 games the Jets have played, they've been favored in 9 of them. Son. So, like, speaking to disappointment, like, you've been favored to win 9 of your 13 games, and you've only won, of 12 games, and you've only won 3. I don't think I can even combat that. I was gonna say another team, but now that you said, like, you got it. Like, it's got to be the Jets. I was gonna say, the Bengals, even the Ravens. I feel like the Ravens are. I just feel like they're not playing to how we expect them to play and how they should play. The way they started the season, we thought they were going to go win 14, 15 games.
Yeah.
These dudes are now at 5 losses, if I'm not mistaken. Like,
Well, a team like the Bengals, you kind of see that every year where you'll have a team that can score all these points and their defense lets them down. We see that literally every single year. There's always a high-powered offense with a bad defense, and they
but
have all
four
these losses.
wins,
But
four
yeah,
wins is
and,
crazy.
and then look, not for nothing, Joe Burrow, every other season he's hurt. So like you don't know which Joe Burrow you're getting. So I had them in the middle of the pack. I'm just saying the Jets being in that division, I wasn't worried about. I thought the Bills were going to have a down year. I wasn't worried about the Patriots. I felt like Miami was just going to be middle of the pack. But then it's like, I thought second place at worst, maybe
Right,
first. But for you to
1,000%.
win, for your squad to win 3 games, that's ridiculous, dude. Dude, the Denver game sold it to me when Bo Nix has 60 yards passing. We lose that game. I'm
You
like, oh,
won't
this
let
team
that
ain't.
go, yo. You won't
Come
let
on, man.
that.
I guarantee you can throw for more than 60.
Well, does it change? Does it change anything now that we see what Bo Nix and Denver has become? Or is that
Nah, it
still
does.
like, nah, that can't happen?
No, that can't happen, bro.
Because they didn't score any points like the
Yeah, like
Broncos didn't score any points. Like,
he had -7 passing yards at half, and the New York Jet football team found a way to lose that game.
yeah, yeah,
Like, as a lifelong Jets fan, these are little signs that you can easily pick up, and you're like, oh, we're not a good team.
yeah. No, that was low key the start of the downfall. And now, all reports are saying that the Jets do not want Rodgers back. And Rodgers is now starting to talk a little bit like he's open to seeing where else he can play. It's got to end. Whatever happens, it's got to end. They can't bring him back. It
Yeah,
just and
that man just dropped his trailer for his Netflix show. Bro,
yeah.
go back to Tahiti and go do that voodoo that you was doing over
Where
there,
was
bro.
he? Was that Tahiti where he was
Some
getting spiritual things on his face and all that?
It
Like,
didn't work. It didn't work.
yo, why would he? He's so annoying, yo. He's gonna
Whatever
trigger all Jets fans with this docu series,
whatever
bro.
whatever voodoo they did on him over there, they lied to him, bro.
They reversed it.
They reversed it, bro.
Son
Finding
said he
myself.
lost family, friends, teammates. Just started getting weird out of nowhere, and now it's like his career. It seems like it's gone with it. So, um, free Garrett Wilson or bring somebody else in because they're my boy. I can't watch him over there, bro. That wide open touchdown that Rodgers missed, he should be in jail for that. Garrett Wilson cooked that cornerback, had 10 yards in the end zone, and this man threw it 10 yards over his head. I couldn't believe that nonsense, bro. Yeah, Rodgers, you wildin', bro. You wildin'. All right, before we cap it off, a lot of talks right now about top picks in the coming NFL draft. The Giants are going to be right there. The Raiders are going to be right there. Both teams probably going to draft a quarterback, all but secured. If you could take one of these quarterbacks in the draft, which one are you taking? Number one, is it Shedeur Sanders? Is it Cam Ward? Is there anyone else? What direction would you go if you're the GM of the Giants or the Jets or the Raiders, and you need a quarterback and you have a top 2 pick or number 1 pick? Let's say number 1 pick.
Um, I'm not the biggest college football guy, but I've seen a few of the quarterbacks this season. You forgot to mention the one kid from not Ohio State, Alabama. He's not too bad as well.
Milrow, yeah, he's not
Milrow, yeah,
considered as high as the other guys.
yeah,
But Jalen Milrow.
but like physically, like he hits all the tool. He checks off all the boxes. But
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd have to go with Cam Ward because I think you tweeted this like 2 weeks ago. One trait that he has that he does extremely well is that he gets the ball
Mm-hmm.
out of the pocket real quick. You know, I've watched a ton of Shedeur. That man will be holding on to that rock for
Yo,
days. And in the NFL, you know damn well you got 2.1 seconds
yeah,
to either scramble or get that ball out.
right.
So in terms of just physicality, all the little physical tools that they have, the mental makeup, I'd go with Cam Ward. And I even seen a clip that surfaced over the summer. I think it was an off season during Miami. They were training, and Cam came to like ready to work. And I remember him; he was dogging Shedeur, like, "Yo,
Yeah,
Why
Yeah.
why you out here? Like you not here, you bullshitting today. Like
Yeah.
we out here to get this work and you ain't trying to
Yeah.
work. So ever since I
Yeah.
seen that clip, he sold me on that because he's like he's taking it serious.
Yeah.
Little things like
Yeah.
that translates to the NFL.
Yeah, Cam is a get out the mud kind of guy. Like, and his tape, just not even not even like athletically. When I put on his tape, the guy that he immediately takes me to is Lamar Jackson. Just the throwing
Mm,
angles and how he's able to like create these weird angles that ends up getting guys open. I see a lot of Lamar in him. He's not athletically Lamar. Nobody is. But just the way that he can make things work from the pocket, passing wise, reminds me of Lamar a lot. The Shedeur dynamic is he's. I feel like Shedeur's gonna translate, bro. I'm concerned about the mentality, and I think he's a Sanders. I think he's gonna succeed because Dion won't let him fail. I think the question that I have is how much will Dion go? How far will he go to not let him fail? And like how will that like as a GM or an owner is would any of the prime stuff rub you the wrong way, or is it kind of just like whatever it's gonna take? Because Dion has been like outwardly saying, he's doesn't want him to go to this place, he doesn't want to go to that place, and that's my son first, football player second. Would any of that deter you if you did want to take him over Cam or to not take him?
nah, because he's gonna put asses in the seat. It's still a business. Like, like we're not. Our preference of Cam Ward is like 1A, 1B. It's like
Right,
Cam ain't that much better than Shedeur. You
right,
feel me?
right,
Like he might
right,
do one or two things, but you can have a tons of other scouts that can say that Shedeur does X, Y, Z better. But we
right,
know Shedeur is box office. A lot of fans will pull up to go see him. So no, I don't
right,
have any reservations about that. And as much flack as Dion gets, I feel like he knows like when and where to cross the line. Like I don't think he would go to the NFL and cause trouble with his son or have these lofty demands. You can get away with that in college because the coaches are the stars of the team.
right.
You know,
Especially when you're
NFL
Deion
like
Sanders.
yeah,
Yeah,
NFL don't give a damn who the hell you are, bro. Like
right.
if you
Okay.
if you can't help them win, if you can't put no asses in the seat, then they'll
Yeah,
kick you to the curb as well. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I don't see why any team would have any reservations with getting Shedeur.
Okay. I do like Cam Ward better as well, for a couple reasons. And the main thing, again, when I throw on both their tape is I don't know what's in Shedeur's head, but Shedeur thinks he's more athletic than he really is. And he's not like a gifted athlete. Like as far as like physically being able to make guys miss and outrun people, he's
Hmm.
very he's very kind of slow, which sounds crazy because he's Dion's kid, but Shedeur is slow. So when he holds onto the ball forever, waiting for something to open downfield. A lot of times you said he gets away with that in college, but he ended up getting cracked last week because
Yeah, yeah,
not 2 weeks ago, the guy freaking almost blew out his knee because he had like 8 seconds at that point. It's like,
yeah, yeah.
bro, you can't do that in the NFL. These guys are going to be at your neck in 2.3 seconds, like you said. Get rid of the ball, and that's something that's harder to teach, like at the NFL level, because you spent your whole life getting away with that from Pop Warners all the way to the pros. So I don't know if that's probably the biggest thing that I've noticed between the two. I think Shedeur, as far as like pure passing, might be a better passer. Like
Especially
he might
with the deep ball too.
with the deep passes might be a
Yeah.
better passer. Cam Ward is more of the intermediate, like he makes all the crossing routes. But Shedeur, again,
Hmm.
they just be launching it downfield. So I don't know if it's a system thing where Shedeur has more liberty and the playbook is more open to athletes like Travis Hunter and other guys to throw it downfield. But I see that a lot from Shedeur, where Cam Ward, it's more of not like he doesn't throw deep, but like skinny post and post corners as opposed to, hey, run a fade route, Travis. I'm gonna hit you 60 yards downfield. So I think all that has been intentional with Dion to make sure he could show Shedeur's a complete quarterback and not just your prototypical black quarterback who can run a little bit and pass a little bit. But I like Cam. I think Shedeur would probably be the top pick because of who like you said, he's Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
going to sell seats. He's probably the safer pick based on where he comes from and how he's been brought up and who's setting him up to succeed. But I think Cam Ward's going to be that guy that probably has the better impact at least immediately because of the skills that he has is more translatable right now. Um, yeah, I mean Milroe. I wonder how much Milroe has dropped his stock. In the last, like with Bama losing a couple games and throwing a lot of interceptions lately. Even Quinn Ewers at Texas, like I feel like he was the guy that they were saying top 3 coming into
Yeah,
the draft. Carson Beck at
but
Georgia, they were
but
saying top 4.
Milrose's story kind of reminds me of Jalen Hurts' story at Alabama. You know, they had this
Mm,
prominent rise. They fell off a
mm.
little bit. They started throwing a little bit of intel. People pushed him to the side. But I always loved Jalen Rose at Alabama, and I felt like he got the wrong deal.
Jalen
I'm
Hurts.
yeah, Jalen Hurts, but I mean Tua came in and did his thing as well. He won them a
Mm-hmm.
national championship. But you know, I just think like the scouts know what they see, so I can't really, you know, set upon these few games to see if Milrose is good or not. But I do like his makeup though.
Yeah, yeah. He's probably the most athletic of the. He is not probably. He is as far as like a runner. He
Yeah.
got everybody beating that cat. That brother be running circles around DBs and defenses. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We got about 5 weeks left to figure out how these rankings are. Giants currently sit at number 2 because not the Panthers, the Raiders lost as well. And the Jaguars are right there as well. But the Jaguars have a quarterback, so you wonder if that that a team's going to trade up and try to take a quarterback, which they'll get a fortune
they
for.
they got a
In any
quarterback.
certain, huh?
Jaguars got
Well,
a
they just paid
quarterback.
him. They just paid him like they got one. So what you going to do with him? You can't bench him, and you can't. You're probably not trading him that easily without giving up some assets. Quick question before we log off: if you are the Giants, is there any inkling? And you have the top pick. Is there any inkling where you would be okay with drafting Travis Hunter number 1? And maybe trading back into the late first and draft Milroe? Or is it just I gotta go with Shedeur Cam off rip?
Hell no, man. They can't look. That would be the equivalent of them drafting Saquon at 3, right? Like you
2.
need
Saquon went 2. You
he
think
went
so?
second,
You think so?
bro.
I
They
feel like Travis' value is way better than what Saquon's was coming out of college because he could
okay,
play corner. He could a
but
lockdown corner can go top 2. Not that's different.
is he
You
really?
wouldn't take Darrell Revis top
Is
2 if you could in revisionist history.
but what I'm saying is Travis Hunter really a lockdown cornerback? I feel like yeah, he's getting his little intos. I feel
That's
his strength
crazy.
is more as a wide receiver. I don't.
No,
You
Gene.
think he's you think he's gonna
Gene.
you think he's gonna be Otani in the NFL?
No. I think he got to cut that out. I think he'll play situational receive. I think
Yeah.
he should. I don't know what he will do. I won't say that.
So
Travis
that's what I'm
Hunter is
saying.
as a cornerback, he's the best player on the field. And part of that is because of how good he is on offense. His ball skills, I've never seen ball skills like that from a
He can
cornerback.
catch. Yes, he can
And
catch.
he
That's the
and he can
difference. He
catch.
can catch.
Like not
Yes.
even just like the catching, just like beating guys to their routes. Like being a receiver, he knows how guys are running routes. Like that's his advantage. And he can catch the rock. He's an actual receiver. As a cornerback, this guy will go in the league and like be a special. I think he's a special
Bro,
cornerback. As a
bro,
receiver, I think he'll be middle of the pack.
bro. They got Daniel Jones 5 years ago, and he set the team back. You
You're
can't you
not
can't
messing
tell me
around.
that's what I'm saying. You can't have a top 5 pick and there's a few quarterbacks available and you not draft them. You can't do that because yo, your friend, how many seasons did Eli play on the Giants? 15, 16?
15, yeah.
When
He
you
did.
get your franchise quarterback, when you have the opportunity to get one, you have to. Even as much as I shit on the Jets, when they had the second and third picks, they got Wilson and they got Sam Darnold bum ass, you know? And it didn't work, but at least they attempted because they know the significance of those picks. Like we
Right.
just said, you can always find great wide receivers. You can always get good cornerbacks, even via trade in the offseason or as a free agency. But finding that right quarterback that's going to have your team set for the next 10 or 15 years, when you have
Mhm.
the opportunity to get them, you got to go get them, bro.
You got to get
You
him.
have
Yeah,
to.
that's fair. That's
I
fair. I
mean, come
think
on.
the
Yo,
Giants.
listen, Aaron Rodgers fell to 22nd. If we go back and look at that year, look at all those teams that passed on him. They would
Yeah.
have been set,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. 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 I don't think the Giants will do it. I think the Giants are like scorned and they're like they have PTSD. They know they cannot walk out that room without taking a quarterback if they're picking top 2.
Listen,
Whichever one is left, whether it's Shedeur or Cam, one of them needs to be selected. But I think it will happen.
listen.
I'm just
As
thinking about
Giants fans,
assets.
y'all just gotta really wonder if they're gonna draft the black quarterback.
Who they're gonna find a white quarterback to draft? They're gonna draft Carson Beck from
Yeah,
Georgia.
yeah. Well,
You know what's crazy? Carson Beck was supposed to be the number 1 pick in this draft 2 years
and
ago.
he will be a Giant.
Nah.
Yeah, the Giants are the reverse Jackie Robinsons, man. Yeah, I ain't never
Yeah.
draft a black quarterback. That's crazy.
Well,
That's
they
crazy.
haven't needed one in a long time.
Bro, no. Even when you have a stud quarterback, you always draft his backups. You mean to tell me they ain't found one? One brother? When
Well,
when when the Jets had Sanchez, we drafted Geno Smith.
Gino,
Like,
yeah,
come
yeah.
on.
And Gino was stunting on y'all after the game. Everybody spun the block on the Jets this year, man. Leonard
3-1,
Williams,
bro.
Gino. Good thing y'all don't play the Vikings. Well, you did play the Vikings in London.
Yeah, they beat us.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
They got Robert Saleh fired. They the one who got him fired.
Literally, that's right. Week 5, I should say. Okay, it'll be interesting to see. I'm really watching that race closely to see, how that plays out because we know the top 2 guys will be quarterbacks taken off the board, unless some like the Jaguars. I think if the Jaguars have the top pick, Travis Hunter will be a Jaguar. That's the only scenario, and he should be. They shouldn't play around with that pick. You have your quarterback already. At least you think you do. Go take the best player off the board and never look back. All right, well, that's our episode. Look forward to the exciting week of football, which starts this Thursday with the Packers and Lions in Detroit. That building's going to be rocking. They might have Eminem coming out the roof again.
Oof.
We will see what happens from there. We'll tap back in next week. Till then, this is your guy, Sean. That's my co-host, Gene. First Team All Purpose. Subscribe, leave a comment. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Holla at a play when you see him in the street.
Yeah.